if I'm in the mood,
try to eat my food without stroking
if
out.
I'm in the mood for a breakfast sandwich,
Yeah.
Now I'm into more like, if not gourmet ones, at least ones that don't feel like you're eating candy.
which is what McGriddles is.
So I'll roll through a Jack in the Box before a McDonald's because I like the breakfast Jack. I like the simplicity of it.
There it is.
It's the only one that's got just a thin slice of ham on it instead of bacon or sausage.
How have you not been in a Jack in the Box commercial?
Well, that's the whole deal is that people are slowly coming around. Like now I get to read ads, for all sorts of things on my podcast.
Yes,
but if I didn't get a name for myself, then people don't want to hear it from me.
Yeah, and I feel like
just a loser stoner.
Yeah, I feel like Jack in the Box 2 is slowly trying to they have ads where they basically are telling you, hey, this is the stoner meal. Like they have like the late night meal deal, and it's like 4 tacos or something like that.
It's 4 tacos, like a Led Zeppelin cover band ticket.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. You're like, oh yeah, that's for stoners.
A strobe light. I don't know what would come in like a stoner's theme park.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like what kind of
stoner Disneyland?
Yeah, the snacks. I would love to know what's there.
I mean, would it just
the
be
rides?
all snacks?
Yeah, it would just be snacks.
And couches.
Yeah,
and the most horrifying rides you've ever seen.
Well, that's what I would ask. How crazy do they get?
Well, because smoking weed is good for nausea. So I get high before going on the roller coasters all the time.
You do,
and I eat. I'll eat a corn dog and then go on Goliath, and I don't give a damn. Can we swear?
Can we say corn dog on the? Yes, you can. See, I can't. Last edible I had was at Disneyland, and I had a major Code Red freak out, a Mountain Dew Code Red freak out.
And this was on Splash Mountain, right?
This was on Splash Mountain. This was on the teacups. But more so, I went up to Winnie the Pooh, which, by the way, when I just a little throwback, when I was 6, I got lost at Disneyland with my mom and dad when we went on a Let's Save the Marriage trip. And I got lost. And I remember going to Winnie the Pooh, and he took me to the first aid station, lost and found, whatever.
Yeah.
Cut to, 30 years later.
Yeah.
Baked out of my mind, and go up to Winnie the Pooh being like, man, I'm fucking freaking out. My heart's going to pop out of my chest. I'm like doing these motions. Probably kids are looking on, seeing a grown man like going, heart's breaking out. And Winnie the Pooh stays in character and just goes, and I go, break the fucking fourth wall, man. I know you're just a guy in there. I go, I'm freaking out. I go, where's Lost and Found? I go, you helped me 25 years ago. And then the guy in the suit was like, and pulled me close and told me.
Oh, so they did break the fourth
yes,
wall. See, now
I was freaking out.
Now I'm kind of disappointed.
Why?
Because I don't
think to break the fourth wall for you. Winnie the Pooh, not real.
Wait, don't.
Where
even
was
say
the
that.
poo handler?
Great question.
You know what I mean? Isn't there a person standing
Yeah,
nearby?
yes, Brad
that
used to do that.
That's normally my job, or that's what I actually did at Disneyland.
Were you the poo handler?
You'd walk out with a character and just watch and make sure nobody does anything squirrely.
Yeah, I was a character host for 2 years.
Wow.
And so
So you've never freaked out at a theme park or roller coaster park or anything?
No, I don't think so.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I enjoy that stuff very much when I'm high.
Now,
yeah,
and you're born and raised in San Diego, so have you been to the Legoland park that's near there?
I haven't because I want to at this point.
You do, yeah. Okay.
Because, but initially it just really felt like it was just for kids.
Mm-hmm.
It really, but now it sounds like it's a lot more involved than than it was when it first opened.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, like it used to be like, oh, you get past a certain age, like 30 or whatever, and then you just have to drink whiskey until you die. But now it's like you can have some sort of arrested development, and it's kind of acceptable for like a 50-year-old guy to go to now they have those barcades where they have like video games and bars, and they have
and then at night the kids can't get in there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's one great thing that I'm sure some would say is a terrible thing about our current society, but
Is what?
For me, just that adults still want to do childish things and do them.
Yeah.
They don't. There's nothing stopping them. It's big business.
Yeah. Now, now you
video
go to
games, adults play those. Some of them
probably more than
as much
kids.
or more than the kids do. Yeah.
And then you go to like I've been to a trampoline theme park, and there was more adults there than kids.
For real?
Yeah. There was just guys like jumping into foam pits, trying to do a flip for the first time in their life. And like there was one dude jumping around with a tie on, and I actually asked an employee about it. He goes, "Yeah, he's here like every Wednesday."
Whoa!
So that's just his.
That's like the guy who sings karaoke by himself.
Yeah. What's that place called? Injury Palace.
Yeah, right next to Broken Arm Pavilion. Yeah. And so here's just a guy that probably has a job that he hates, who goes on his lunch break and says, "You know what? I'm gonna fucking go jumping on a trampoline."
That's not a bad life.
It's pretty good.
Me and a buddy of mine used to go bowling on our lunch break all the time.
Lunch break from where?
When we worked at the WB network.
You worked at the WB?
Mm-hmm. Were you a
the
writer
Top
on
Hat
one of the
Frog?
shows?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to write things for Michigan J. Frog to say, and my bosses would say things to me like, Michigan wouldn't say that. And I go, yeah, because he's from a cartoon where he didn't talk. He just sang songs. Now you want him to talk? We can have him say anything we fucking want him to say. The kinds of things he talks about has not been established.
He's not Michigan. Didn't he have a middle name too? Like it was
Michigan J. Frog.
Michigan J. Frog.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, I love how like all your jobs involve marijuana making you better at your job. Like, hey, write something for a frog to say. Yeah, I think you should probably be high to do that.
Oh my God, I just go drive around in my car and smoke, and then go back into my office and write that stuff. Never had the balls to smoke in my office, but
yeah.
Really, is there a job you think you can't do high?
Well, I mean, I think if somebody's good at something, they can do it when they're high. But I just think some people are not good at being high.
Yeah.
Like, do you think any?
I don't think the average person should necessarily operate heavy machinery when high, but I bet you people that are really good at it are probably high.
Right.
You think pilots have been
just to get through it, just to get through long shifts of just doing repetitive, dangerous shit.
I hope pilots are high sometimes.
Why?
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
No, it does not. It sounds terrible.
Because you want them to be having fun up there.
Not both of them.
Yeah.
Let's just that's why there's two.
Yeah. One could stay sober.
You getting high today, Bill? That's right, Jim.
One can stay
I'll
sober.
sit this one out.
Yeah, and then the other can stare at the clouds and be like, "Wow."
Well, see, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want them to be like, that one looks like boobs and a butt, and then
just like try to fly into it.
Yeah, and then you go off course.
That
and then you run into another plane.
When people recognize you, Doug Benson.
Doug, light up by the way if you want to.
I didn't bring anything because you told me that
I got a J. You want one? I got a whole.
I don't want to. You said you have to like spray the room afterwards.
No, I don't. I smoked it last night. We just can't open the door and scream my landlord's name when we do it.
I couldn't. That should be easy enough. Don't tell me his name.
Yeah, sorry, because the first time I got high in this apartment, I opened the door and screamed the landlord's name and said, "We're getting fucking high in here," and it just ruined it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Now, but you're someone that when people see you, does everyone come up and just have like a stoner story for you, or just they want to know about weed, or they have they want to know your stoner stories?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're known for your size would be like if there's one thing you had to say about you.
Sure.
It's
the most obvious thing. So what? Not my beard?
But I bet you a lot of people you meet go out of their way to not even talk about that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's why you bring it up a lot.
Like there's some assholes that'll go right for the short jokes, but
Yeah.
a lot of people will just not mention it at all.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I get with the weed thing, especially like if we're somewhere, like I get a lot of winks. Like I know your comedy. Like TSA people are always,
I won't be checking you this time.
I know. That's the thing is they don't make that joke. They don't make a joke about how I'm going to be carrying weed.
Yeah,
because they're they're fans.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So they don't go that way. Maybe once or twice that's happened.
Which is helpful because you don't want that one young rookie narc to be like, "What are you guys joking about?" Oh, the Doug's probably packing.
Yeah.
But now you can fly out of LAX with an ounce.
Which is great. An ounce?
An ounce.
Holy shit.
Yeah, see that candle right there?
Yeah.
That's about half an ounce.
Jesus.
Would fit in there.
Okay. So basically you could be a drug dealer.
I love how you gauge weed. You see that Rite Aid candle? That just happened, right? Mm-hmm. That's big time.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not, we can't tell you what's going to happen when you land.
It's on you. You got to roll the dice.
Don't call ahead, please.
Yeah. Don't tell them that Doug's coming to Texas. Now, so do you map out at this point, because weed is becoming legal in more and more states? So are you mapping out where you should go based on the laws or anything? Or are you just like, no, you're like, I don't give a fuck.
No, I mean, I'm a little less thrilled about going to a place that doesn't have, legal weed, but every place has weed.
Every place has weed. And every place has people that smoke it.
To me.
I was going to say that. You don't ever have to go and worry about where you're going to get it, right?
Yeah. I just worry a little more about, law enforcement or whatever. But also most big cities now, it's been quietly decriminalized and it's just a ticket or something.
Has a cop ever brought you weed?
That would be the ultimate.
Dude, I'm willing to lose my job for this.
Yeah.
No, but Todd Glass brought a cop into the green room. I think an ex-cop at this point, but he did bring a cop into the green room. Because there's a cop that I used to know. Todd and I both have known for a long time, but Todd's good friends with him. That's how I know him. But he just brought him into the green room, and I just sat there the whole time he was in there being like, please leave. I really have something I want to do in here. It's not the blue room, cop. It's the green room.
Right.
Can you control most emotions when you're high? Because I heard this rumor that Justin Timberlake was stoned when he was on Punk'd and he got like his house repossessed and all his shit. And to me so that's his excuse for sitting down on the curb and crying like a baby? It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his excuse. There's no way that.
Yeah.
There's no connection there.
Okay.
You miss your shit or you don't. Like, being high doesn't change it.
Right?
Yeah. I would think if you were high, that might make that situation better. And now we're killing Doug Benson with a big griddle. Do you need to be Heimlicked? Sorry, we're laughing as you're dying.
Oh.
Here lies Doug Benson. Fuck that McGriddle.
And didn't he talk about how he doesn't really fuck with these anymore?
Well, now.
This is the last one.
Oh.
Now
it takes another bite. You gotta finish it.
I mean, you're not gonna let the McGriddle beat you, Adam.
One down.
Do you have a go-to way of getting high? Are you a joint guy? Are you an edible guy?
I like joints.
As he reaches for one.
Yeah, but I love your lighter too.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you mean my log cabin dad lighter?
Yeah.
Hey, kids, I'm starting a fire and maybe having some fun when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Doug, what was growing up in San Diego like?
I still need a minute.
Oh, God.
Sorry the McGriddle killed you.
Hey, you guys know each other. Talk about yourselves.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, this reminds me when Sandra Bullock was here and had a jumbo jack, and that almost took her out.
Really?
Yeah.
She choked on it?
I'm just trying to think all the celebrities that we've almost killed with fast food.
Yeah.
Well, I just
Susan
swallowed
Sarandon
funny.
in
It
that
could have been any of these items.
Could have been
the healthier stuff like the gummy bears. I just swallowed like that. I could feel this one piece of.
Is it still there?
Of bread going up and down in my throat.
More water?
No, I got it.
Yes.
Doug's back.
No, I'm good, but yeah, I just get that thing where like my eyes water, and then also, like this happened to me on the Joe Rogan Experience. I'll just choke on air even sometimes.
Why?
What?
Just because, you know,
you'd think your
I
lungs
got a
would
lot
be
going
like,
on with my sinuses and allergies and shit.
Okay.
wow.
So yeah, so I can just, you know, I don't choke like in a way that feels life-threatening.
Right.
But my eyes water up and, you know, I lose my voice briefly. But
Yeah, because it blocks your air passageway, right?
I just think that's the quintessential stoner response for anything. Just, huh?
Well, that's the thing is I got that go-to where whenever I'm in, you know, any kind of show in front of the audience, especially when there's, you know, other people on stage or whatever, is that if they say something and I just, whether I do understand what they're saying or I don't, I can get a laugh off of, you know, just saying what.
That does kind of help in terms of being a stoner.
Can you get that?
Obviously, his
it's
mechanical
just a series
skills.
of gags that you guys pull on me, you know, like.
We basically
Try to eat this burger without dying.
Yeah.
Try to smoke that joint without crying.
we basically have the Home Alone house, just like set up.
There's
for
matches
stoners.
too.
Paint can.
There's matches in that box.
What?
There's matches in that box, and you can.
Oh yeah, I can
do
see him down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gave me this.
Yeah, I thought I gave you
Gave me
options.
This thing that doesn't work. You know how to make it work? Is the safety on? Is that what's going on?
Push the lever up, and then and pull the thing at the same time. There you go.
There you go. I got it. You got it? Okay.
I can light it again if you want.
Chris Porter turned me on to these types of prepackaged joints. There's a buddy of his that runs a shop over on Cahuenga, and that's my story.
I feel like I'm witnessing Popeye eat the spinach right now.
Oh yeah, shit's about to get way funnier.
That was Popeye's thing. If I'm gonna do your podcast, have a bunch of spinach around.
Yeah, I
Also, if I'm gonna eat a McGriddle, I should have smoked first.
Yeah, no one wants to taste
You know?
what's inside of
well,
it.
now I'm just gonna, you know, get hungry again right away.
Doug, I will say you are brilliant. Like you just commenting on like always being able to just be like, huh, and like navigate through, you know, conversation. But like, man, the way you navigate your Doug Loves Movies podcast is fucking really impressive.
Well,
There's a lot going on top of you just running the whole program and being funny, but then having to, you know, get the give and take between guests and the game and.
There's, you know, mistakes are made on occasion, but like people in the audience always want to like look everything up on their phone when I'm not sure about somebody's answer or something. But I like it to be what I think is right or wrong, and we'll worry about it later.
Yeah.
Like it should just be it's you invite your friends over to play a game and you're that guy.
Yeah.
That just runs the game.
Yeah. And
whatever he says goes. You know?
Yeah, and I don't like being at someone's house and someone like busts out a game or something, and then like a game of Scrabble, and then you always have that one guy that's like, hold on, let me Google the official rules. No.
Rules of the house.
Yeah.
However the house remembers the game is played.
Yeah.
That's how you play.
Yeah. If there's a certain way that you play Chutes and Ladders, then damn it, that's how you play it.
Yeah, it's so it's, you know, but then also I'm very strict. I like, you know, with movie title answers, there's so many crazy subtitles in movies now with all the sequels.
Right.
That it's fun to make people have to say that. They can't just say.
So you can't just say Austin Powers. You have to say Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
the full title.
Yeah, because if you just say Austin Powers, well, which one do you mean? That those two words are in 3 different titles.
Exactly.
Is there some sort of
ashtray
kind of?
You know what?
So far, I've just been eating the ashes off the end.
Here, use this coaster.
I'm a really polite
You
guest.
might hand him that coaster.
Here's one right here.
Oh, perfect. I'll take this coaster.
Okay, so just put it on there.
Yeah.
Put a little pile of ashes in the middle of that coaster.
I don't want you to smoke alone, Doug.
There you go.
Oh, you're gonna smoke down there too?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a bunch of these babies, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks
And
for that.
I'll just get the contact high off of
All right.
both of you.
Are you out of the game?
No, I'm in the game,
Okay.
but
Not now.
You know what? Fuck it.
Not now, not
it's
today.
Doug Benson and Adam Ray.
It's upper week
Don't
too.
tell me you've got like a meeting or an audition or something later.
No.
Okay, then go ahead.
I just have to fly a plane.
I don't want to be.
Well, it's a plane to you.
Yeah. Actually, I am going on vacation later today, so I'm gonna be on a plane for 12 hours. So I probably should have a
Oh,
joint.
this is great. It's an upper too.
Yeah.
Oh, sativa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I like those.
I mean, notice how I just start smoking stuff without even asking what it is.
I love that about you. I mean, can it truly... Do you truly enjoy one better than the other? Like, do you like being alert and up, or to just knock out and go to bed? And
Indica makes me sleepy.
Yeah.
That's the only real difference I know.
And you say you just kind of smoked something and you didn't really ask questions. Has anyone ever given you a joint that was actually like laced with something, or a kind of weed that gave you a bad reaction?
By the way, take another hit.
If they did, I loved it.
What's in this thing?
Because
LSD. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I guess I'm hooked on that now.
Yeah. I mean, I remember times where somebody gave me something and then it was, it was amazing and I got really high. But yeah, I don't think anybody's ever sought to do any kind of harm, which is just sort of.
Well, that's kind of like the stoner culture.
Exactly.
Yeah. No one's trying to, no one's. And I know this joke's been probably made a million times, but like when people get drunk, they fight. Like no one ever gets really high and then like just wants to fuck somebody up.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like
what's the worst thing someone's... I mean, you hear about those like, hilarious freakouts, like that couple that was like, "We're dying, we're dead, we're dead. Time's moving slow. We're dead. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, trying to figure out what went wrong. I'm dead."
Basically in the Beetlejuice world right now.
Yeah, but you've never heard of any like, like the guy was baked. The wife said she wanted gorditas. He said he wanted double deckers. He slit her throat. Like, you've never heard that.
Right.
Right?
It's true. Yeah, worst shit goes down like when people take Ambien.
It does.
Oh, yeah. We do the sleepwalking and the sleep eating.
Or you tweet and lose your show.
Yeah.
That was probably the best example of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also the sleepwalking.
Yeah. That was fun that Roseanne blamed it on the Ambien. Not a very good commercial for Ambien at that point.
She should have come out. Who's saying blame it on the alcohol? She should have come out with blame it on the Ambien, and tried to make light of the situation.
That was Jamie Foxx, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug, what part
That's
of
a hard situation to make light of.
I know. It's tricky.
Yes.
There's a lot of factors in that.
She does not have the, the subtlety to pull that off.
No.
Is there any?
She doesn't have that Trump subtlety.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That would be the name of his cologne.
I mean, she's not even crazy enough to just, to just go out there and say something like, somebody got on my computer and wrote that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that somebody did that, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
She could have said that.
She could have, but that's how crazy she is. She just went, well, yeah, that's what I tweeted.
Yeah, because I feel
just
like
owned it.
I feel like that's what a lot of people do. Like I know there was an athlete not too long ago that like was trying to send a dick pic to a girl and ended up just posting it on his basic social media.
No way.
And he was like, "I got hacked," and you're like, "But did you?"
Yeah.
But then once you say it,
by the dick pic burglar. Or,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
You know how a mailing list you create will hack you sometimes? Just take your picture and show it to everybody.
Yeah. Didn't say that it wasn't his dick.
Oh boy.
Just said,
he didn't.
I got hacked.
Oh, so that yeah.
Yeah. So someone hacked, went through my phone, and then post that photo.
Doug, what part of San Diego did you grow up in?
Moved a couple of times, but the bulk of it was El Cajon. Was born in La Mesa. We lived in San Carlos for a while. And
nice.
Then El Cajon until I was, way too old to be living at home.
So 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then I just I moved to LA and I never looked back. And
what made you move?
Show business.
Mm-hmm.
I felt as soon as I was old enough to start going to LA on my own, and and
did you know you wanted to do this for a long time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
not this, because podcasting.
Did you always know when you wanted to come to my apartment?
Did you always want to smoke out with a Jew and a dwarf?
It is weird.
Was that your dream?
It is weird that that podcasting isn't something we could have aspired to as youngsters.
No.
No.
Why not?
Just radio.
Just radio.
You know, and I've always liked radio.
Me too.
So that worked out good that a new kind of radio came along because I could never get a career in actual radio. So.
What would you listen to that kind of got the comedy juices going?
Oh, well, you know, comedy albums were... Oh, thanks. I mean, sorry. Comedy albums were...
Weed, when your things become sorry.
You could have just asked me to pass you the lighter.
Are you, you seem mid-thought, so I wanted to be sure.
Are you smoking on the DL?
Yes, sorry.
You smoking on the Hewley?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to start saying that instead of DL. Just go right to Hewley.
You smoking on the Hughley?
Do you pronounce the G in there?
Hughley?
Hughley? Do you do
What'd
the
you
G?
say? Hewley.
Hewley?
See, I heard that at first, and I...
Let's call DL.
Great, you got his number. Can you just say that and hope that a foam drops from the ceiling?
And does the DL stand for down low?
Down low Hughley?
Yeah.
Oh my God, has anybody ever asked him that? You think Piers Morgan
maybe
did?
Too many people have asked him that.
Yeah, you're right. So finally he just changed it to it?
Yeah.
It was David?
I'm going to start a new podcast, DLH. Doug loves Hughley.
Where you just review Hughley?
Yeah. I do like his political humor.
He's great. Didn't he have a TV show?
He had weekends at the DL on Comedy Central.
Okay.
And
but
then
he had a sitcom.
Yeah, the Hughleys.
Like where he was the
Hugleys.
dad and like the whole family thing, like the Cosby Show.
By the way, Keep It on the DL would have been a great name for his sitcom.
Right? But
I guess he
were
has
people
weekends.
saying that yet at that point?
It was the 90s, wasn't it?
I don't know when DL started.
You don't know the origins of the DL
expression
Hughley
or
show?
the person.
This has been Hughley Talk on the About Last Night podcast.
First time I ever saw him, we were both on the same night, maybe even the same episode of MTV's Half-Hour Comedy Hour.
Whoa.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
MTV did comedy
What?
before Jersey Shore.
Yeah, they did a few seasons of it. And each season was hosted by a different. Like one season was hosted by Colin Quinn, another one by Pauly Shore, and then another by David Spade.
Was that your first time doing stand-up on TV?
They let me do it one time each season, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then was that your comedy TV debut?
Probably evening at the Improv, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah. Those old school shows, or maybe even actually my debut was probably for a while here in LA on Fox. They had a thing that was like a half hour of stand up that came from Igby's over in West LA, which has been a jazz club for a long time, I think. Anyway,
You know what show I loved was the Benson Interruption.
Yeah.
well, yeah, Comedy Central loved it so much that they bought it without a pilot, made 6, showed them late at night, and said, you know, thanks for your thanks for all your hard work. They even debuted the show. It was only 6 weeks, 6 episodes, and they debuted the show 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So then Thanksgiving weekend, and it was on Friday nights at midnight. But Thanksgiving weekend, they're like, well, we're not gonna, you know. We don't want to burn off an original episode on Thanksgiving weekend.
Dang.
So they skipped a week.
They skipped a week when people are home and watching TV.
Yeah, they skipped a week.
Yeah,
and then, that
before
next
DVR.
one, they go, the numbers are down a little bit. And I go, yeah, because you skipped a week. People have lost track of it because it's brand new. And it's on late at night on Fridays. And then they, you know, they just sort of let it run out in, you know, all the new episodes, the rest of them played out over December, and then it was done.
I
Well,
love
it's real
that.
clever.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it was.
I love the fact that you like every project you do. You're just like, well, what do I like to do? I like to smoke weed, so I'm gonna do Getting Dug with High. I like smoke weed and talk with my friends. I like to smoke.
I like
weed.
to interrupt.
Yeah, I like to interrupt people. So I'm gonna have people on, have them do stand up,
timed.
and I'm gonna interrupt them. And then I like to watch, you know, get high and watch movies. And so I'm gonna get high and watch movies, but record it, like, because now you do the movie interruption,
Well,
right?
the movie interruption is just a live event. We can't record it because we don't have the rights to the movie that we're making fun of. We barely have permission to make fun of the movie. Sometimes the studios, when they find out what we're gonna do, they go, oh, "We're not gonna rent you that."
Sometimes
and then we go, "Oh, it's too bad that's not on DVD."
They say we're not going to rent it to you.
Because most movie theaters now, you can just play a DVD.
Yeah.
It plays like a regular movie.
Exactly.
Oh, rip.
So and that's
especially older movies that didn't have great sound.
Yeah, you're right.
You have one coming up in January, and we want to make sure that we plug that.
Where at?
Oh yes, this is a big one. It's at Sketchfest in San Francisco.
Whoa.
Yes,
SF Sketchfest.
And the movie is?
It's where I've managed over the past 3 years to do 2 of the 50 Shades movies, and so this will be the third one. And in the case of the 50 Shades movies, the first time I've seen them. Yeah. The first time I'll be seeing this next one.
Good.
Is in an audience with a microphone in my hand. And in the Castro Theater seats about 1,200 people.
That's an interesting way to watch that
1,200
film.
people just laughing their asses out at how stupid those movies are.
They're so dumb, dude.
It's amazing.
It's unreal.
It's crazy how little happens and how long it takes for so little to happen. Yeah. And then the parts that are supposed to be exciting, you don't want to sit in a movie theater and watch a guy spanking some girl.
No,
like, that's
and not on a date.
That's
and not
for
with your
on
mom.
my phone on a plane.
Yeah.
From the makers of Snakes on a Plane, become porn on a plane.
Yeah, so that's gonna be at SF Sketchfest. Are you doing a Doug Loves Movies there?
Yep.
As
yeah,
well?
I'm doing a 2-day thing where over the weekend, one afternoon at 4:20 is Doug Loves Movies. That's Saturday the 12th and then Sunday the 13th.
Why do you think people love movie trivia so much? Because that show is always so packed, always so popular. You've done a great job of like cultivating this like insane following for it, and people just.
I think that a lot of people just tolerate the movie trivia aspect of it, and they just like the general movie talk, and it's mostly comedians, but then sometimes actual
Ken Jennings.
Actual people like Ken Jennings. I was gonna say like actual like filmmakers, which is always fun to have them, and then I get it's like Brad was saying, it's just so crazy that I love movies, and just by making a podcast about it, I get invited to screenings all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Last night
That's awesome.
I met Olivia Wilde at a screening that she and Jason Sudeikis and Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon. They all, with some other people, put together this screening for this movie, If Beale Street Could Talk, just to like kind of give it almost like a second premiere, because it's been out for a little while, but it's such a quiet, small movie. Like his last movie that won Best Picture 2 years ago, Moonlight.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that. Like every shot, every frame, looks like a painting. It's all very beautiful.
Whoa!
But then it's also deals with heavy themes and race and whatnot. But
is that kind of movie fun to watch in a packed theater?
Well, it was a little better than But that one I could definitely watch like at a matinee with hardly anybody else there. There wasn't even there was very few moments that even made the audience gasp or even maybe a couple of little laughs here and there. But but yeah, it was didn't really need to be a big audience, but it did. That's the screening I went to, is the one that on the invitation it said, Kumail and Mr. Sudeikis would like you to attend. And then, I got there and they were both, both there and both very, very nice. And that's how I got to meet Olivia. But it was really funny because I was walking in with Jason, like next to Jason, and Olivia was next to him. And she was in a hurry to get in there. She was really excited to get inside the theater. The steps at the ArcLight were going downstairs.
Yeah.
And so Jason Sudeikis is like going, live, trying to get her attention. And she's like really wants to go in the theater. But once he does get her attention, it's for her to stop and turn around and meet me. And I'm just like, she's like, hi. And I'm like, hi. And then she turns around and just heads off again. Like, because she was on her way somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
But it was super nice of him to do that.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
What guy that he knows wouldn't want to meet her?
Have you?
You want to meet Olivia?
I'm good, man.
I'm good. You've had just about everybody on Doug Loves Movies or any of your podcasts. Do you get starstruck anymore?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, especially those two last night. That's a power couple.
It is.
Plus he's got this weird long hairdo right now, so I asked him about that.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, it must be for a movie role or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, how does that feel having to have that all the time? And he's like, I'm not really a fan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's long hair like that. You know,
Seems like a bummer. Seems like a lot of.
it just gets so dirty so easily.
Yeah.
And makes your head hurt.
Perfect. Cause,
I feel like we're on a talk show in the 70s. Fucking radio mics and cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's how Phil Donahue started.
Exactly. Yeah, because you had a Jon Hamm on your podcast recently.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of times. He's an old poker buddy of mine. Who,
That's awesome.
How does he become a poker buddy? And
Just-
first of all, where is Doug Plays Poker? Where is
I
that
know,
show?
right?
Wow.
I know,
Come
really
on.
should.
Great idea.
Smoke weed and play poker? No one could bluff. Be
You know,
like,
this rarely
do
comes
you
up
have
anymore.
3 queens? Yeah.
Yes, go fish.
Wrong game.
I love playing poker when I'm high.
Me
love it.
too.
And
It's actually the only way I'll play. So don't invite me to your sober poker game.
I got to play in one of those celebrity things in Vegas at the
Oh man.
at the World Series of Poker.
Nice.
So because I love watching poker on TV, so it's fun to get to play with all those actual guys and gals.
Yeah, it's a lot harder when you don't have the camera telling you what cards they have.
Yeah. But they
Good question, Brad.
I was just saying.
Or
It's
comment.
It's more of a statement of fact.
Yeah, it is.
But you kind of in a tournament you sort of move around from table to table. But at one point I just got moved to the so-called feature table.
Yes.
That they show a bunch of the action there on the actual TV show.
Yeah.
So you could see me on TV playing poker with Charles Barkley, and I knock him out of the tournament.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude.
I win the hand that he gets knocked out on.
Man, Doug Benson fucking just took me down. That's what he said. Did you hear him? God damn it, Doug.
He was not familiar with who I am or what I do.
How'd
You know, like,
how'd you kick me
on
out?
the
I thought he
TV
was a
show,
big knucklehead.
on the TV show, one of the commentators was another old poker buddy of mine. So he
Yeah.
would be like, I used to play poker with this guy. But yeah, Jon Hamm is just a, kind of a mutual friends thing. And he's a not struggling actor, but certainly, before Mad Men came along, he worked, but he was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he needed something to happen.
I'm pretty sure with that jawline, he's always worked in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he's they're like, hey, we need somebody handsome. Let's get him.
Get him
Let's get him
handsome.
in here. And he's
Yeah.
and he was in his girlfriend her movie Kissing Jessica Stein. He had a part in that. And
It's true though. That just goes to show you how many opportunities there are and how that pop moment
yeah,
you need it to then turn into for people to go, oh yeah, Jon Hamm, and just now everybody knows.
well,
And a show like that.
I mean, this one was even bigger than that in terms of the fictional character name being iconic.
Yeah.
You just say anything is so Don Draper, and you know exactly what
Isn't that
what that
crazy?
means.
Yeah.
Do you think it's one of the most famous character names of all time? I put Don Draper and Fred Flintstone in the same boat.
Yeah, and Tony Soprano and
Yep.
Archie Bunker and the Fonz.
That's it?
No,
That's
there's
the
a million of them.
Yeah.
Nope, that's it.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, no, there's so many.
Yeah.
But and in a lot of those cases, people don't know the actor who played them.
Yeah.
Right.
But Don Draper and Jon Hamm, I think they're both
Carl Winslow.
doing pretty good. I got off some sort of riff. I can't even remember what it was now, but I just said something to John about, now tell us about the latest Mercedes, and the place went crazy. So he's also got a good sense of humor. You
Yeah.
know? He's
Sure.
He's and he's crazy witty. Like on one time on Doug Love's movies, the subject of Philadelphia came up, the city. But it's Doug Love's movies, so I'm always making movies jokes.
Sure.
And I go, that's where AIDS was invented. And and then Jon Hamm, without missing a beat, goes, no, Doug, that's where it was perfected.
Wow.
Well done, sir.
What
Well done,
player.
sir. He's not allowed to be that good looking and funny.
I know.
He might have had a second to think, because mine probably got like a slow, slow built
Sure.
laughter.
That's still a good line.
That's great.
See, now I'm mad because most of the
You're a
comedians-
madman?
Yeah, I'm a madman. I'm mad and a half man.
from the makers of 2.5 Men.
Yeah. Because like you're not allowed, because you're either funny or you're good looking. You're not both.
Can't get both.
Yeah, that sort of is.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Wait, so you haven't gotten starstruck then? Is that it?
That was the question.
That was the original question.
Yeah.
Like if someone reached out to you, like what if Obama was like, Doug, want to play? All right, man. I knew that impression wasn't going to happen as soon as I started.
I do a mean Obama impression, but it's just one word.
Let's hear it.
And it's what he says when, somebody says something to him that he doesn't want to hear and he's not having it. He goes, listen.
Dude, it
was like having him right there in your ears, wasn't it?
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Well, yeah.
Wow. How did you find access to that part of your... So wait.
Because he says it so much that I just got used to hearing him say it, and then I just started saying it. And, and the other one is you go, look.
Hey, Doug's an impressionist. How do you know?
Didn't know.
Have you heard this Obama?
This guy Ross Marquand does these micro impressions, and he does a bunch of them, and he's great at it. But it just got me excited about that concept because I'm not great at impressions, but I think I can get
one word,
little short ones, or find a sound that just sounds like that person.
Yeah.
Wait, let's all do that.
What they would normally sound.
Let's all do that. Let's pick an actor. Each person will each go around trying to do the micro impression of that. Okay. Ready?
But you pick your own actor?
No, like Brad.
I'm gonna tell you one.
Okay.
You tell him one.
Yeah.
He tells me one.
Yes.
We all go at the same time.
Oh, boy.
Ready? One.
Oh, wait. Wait, we got who's the actor?
No. We tell everyone at the same time.
Oh, okay. We haven't.
Point to the person who has to do it.
Okay.
You're mine.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way,
I feel like this is a Quentin Tarantino movie where we all have guns on each other.
But we have tattle guns.
Yeah.
We're little kids. You did it. All right.
I think you need at least one full Mexican for a Mexican standoff. Okay.
On my fortune cookie last night.
1, 2, 3.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
what'd you say?
I said Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, okay.
By the way,
I said Nicolas Cage.
Of course, what did you say would follow that?
Right, but I heard yours.
You did?
Yeah.
Who?
I forgot it already.
Well, yeah, because
you
said to me Michael J. Fox.
I said Keira Sedgwick.
Michael J. Fox.
Okay, no, I did say that.
Yeah, all right. Michael J. Fox. That's kind of mean.
Why? I'm thinking Family Ties Fox.
It's more of a visual impression.
I'm thinking. I'm also okay.
Right. It's hard, I'm just saying it's hard to do him without sounding like you're attacking his ailment.
No.
Oh no. I think you do it for Back to the Future.
I can do it.
That's what I was thinking of. Back to the Future, Michael.
I think I could do that one too.
All right.
I think we should all take a shot at each other.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the first one up. First one up.
So let's all do.
By the way,
Michael J. Fox.
when we work on the pitch, this can't be. Because what if we were in the room and then just looked over and saw 9 executives just going,
"What? Okay, there's a show.
Do they know we've walked in?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Here we go.
Go ahead, Brad.
Doc.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say Doc too.
Okay.
That's the word.
But the voice didn't sound like him. So that's what we're judging. We're judging the impression, the micro.
Doc. Okay. There you go. That's a little better. I think so.
That's like a guy who can't do a Yogi Bear going boo boo. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said what he said.
He also always had this thing where his voice was always cracking, or he sounded like he was about to cry. Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
Doc.
Okay. Now let me try. Ready? I was about to say Zoinks, but that's Scooby or Shaggy.
Zoink, Scoob.
All right, here we go.
Right,
Michael, ready? Here we go. Here we go. Time machine.
That felt like Bob. That felt like someone was choking Michael J. Fox, and he had to say 2 words to get him to let go. And those 2 words were time machine. He's like, time machine.
Tell me how you got here. All right. What was the next one?
Yeah. What was the one you said to Adam?
Biff.
Do a Biff. Do Tom Wilson.
Take your hands off her, Biff.
There you go.
All right, what are we doing now?
Well, it's whoever you said to Adam, because he said Michael J. Fox to me. I said Liam
Nicolas
Neeson.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I got you. Ready?
Okay, go.
Why?
And you could do a setup to it too. You could be like,
okay.
Like the one I do in my act is I say,
okay.
This is Christopher Walken finding out his flight's been canceled. Why?
Okay, yeah. All right, that's good. All right. So this is Nicolas Cage stubbing his toe on the dishwasher. Ouch.
This is. Is that funny because I'm stoned, or is that funny because it's funny?
Oh, maybe a little both. A little both.
Never know.
That's my new
You
closer.
Never know.
That's my new closer.
Everything's more fun when you're high.
It is.
This is.
You
game
don't
rules.
know how much more fun.
This game rules,
Yes.
by the way.
This is Nicolas Cage putting his hand inside of a snowman without a glove on.
Oh boy, that could have gone bad.
Nicolas Cage.
Wait, you think it went good?
Nicolas Cage putting his hand inside a snowman without wearing a glove.
Oh. he has to have somewhat steely reserve.
Dude, your fucking face. There's so much of that. That's 84% is the Cage face.
You got to do the Cage face.
That was all good, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was it. You just did the impression.
What?
You just went,
Nicolas Cage being impressed at Brad's impression on the podcast.
What's,
oh boy.
What's the girl's name in? What's Laura Dern's name in?
Amy. They're chasing her.
No. What's Laura Dern's name in Crazy?
Rich Asians?
Wild at Heart.
Oh, crazy. What?
Wild at Heart.
Oh, I will find it out.
He's got it's like Lulu or something like
Okay.
that.
So this is what Nicolas Cage saying her name.
What?
I'm just having a great time.
I just want to know what her name is. You don't need to know what I'm going to do with it.
Laura Dern's character.
The cop who comes in to play this game says
Wild
that.
at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, on that, I'd like to piggyback on that and go, what's the name of the girl who played the...
Lula Pace Fortune.
Lula?
Yeah, Lula.
Okay. This is Nicolas Cage in Wild at Heart when he's disappointed in his girlfriend. Lula.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Did you guys see Mandy?
More?
No,
concert?
No, there's a movie called Mandy starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh no,
I did not.
And very early on in the movie, this isn't a spoiler. One of you guys play his wife.
Okay.
You'll know what to say.
Okay, I'll be the wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada who?
Eric Estrada from Chips.
That's a line in the movie?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I saw a matinee where it was me and my girlfriend, and then like another row had several comics in it, including Brent Weinbach and Jacob Siroff. And that row and my row were the only places that lost their minds over that. Sure. And I was like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be so fucking funny if he says shit like that. While it's also this, satanic horror, awful serial killer thing.
What would be your favorite Nicolas Cage movie? If you had to watch one Nicolas Cage movie the rest of your life.
Well, I think I might. That sounded like Reagan.
Well, I probably watch Con Air.
But that's the thing about these micro impressions is like everybody can do Reagan saying "well," because he didn't even necessarily say it that much. I don't think.
Right, but
it just took one famous somebody on SNL or somebody.
SNL or Robin Williams or someone.
Well, Dana Carvey's George Bush. I mean,
he never even said that. The thing that he says.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable! What a catchphrase.
Yeah, I know. Interesting that you bring it up during his funeral.
Yeah.
Timing.
You didn't hear about Dana Carvey?
Oh God. Wait. So what's the last
that guy, by the way?
Dana's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Oh, George H.
Oh, gotcha.
He loved it when he said, "Read my lips."
Yeah. Oh, where are we on the impressions?
Liam Neeson.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Liam
So
Neeson.
who's gonna go first with this one? Doug's getting into his space. You have one?
I'm just trying to think of what.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of know what noises he makes.
He's got sort of an Irish brogue.
Yeah.
I got one.
But that's the great thing about these. You don't have to be good with accents if you only say one word.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, here goes Adam.
Okay.
Is there a setup? Okay.
Yeah, this is Liam Neeson going to a game night at a new friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so he's already kind of rolling the dice with like, you know, do I want to go here? Yeah, I've been living in this new town.
About to take
I need some more people to chill with. You know, I'm having a tough time as Liam Neeson being social.
Sure.
So he goes over there, and the guy who's bringing over the game, Apples to Apples, when they open it up, realize that most of the cards are gone, and the timer is gone, and like this game's been around for a minute at this house, and they lost some shit from it and came over with it.
Okay.
And Liam Neeson
recognized. We have Doug. Thanks.
No, listen. And Liam Neeson, fuck you. Liam Neeson recognizes this, and then so he sees it. Basically, the moment the guy goes.
I forgot where we started.
Basically, the moment the guy goes.
I don't think you remember either.
The moment the guy takes off the box of Apples to Apples, and everyone realizes that there's nothing there, and then the guy goes, "Damn, my bad." And then Liam, this is my impression of him seeing that Apples to Apples isn't there.
Right? Hearing the guy say "my bad."
Yeah. No. Yeah. Here's Liam reacting to the guy saying "my bad" about Apples to Apples not being there. This is bullshit.
Now, this is my impression of Liam Neeson having to sit through a long, winding setup that's unnecessary. This is bullshit. No, but I do want to do one.
Okay.
That sounded way better in my head before I said it. Just for the jury to know that.
I think you fell asleep halfway and then woke up and then forgot where you started.
If I'm on high trial, I want the jury to know that sounded better up here.
I mean, don't say high trial. We have the judge of high court.
Oh yeah,
right here with us.
Wow.
I forgot my gavel though. This is Liam Neeson winning a game at game night.
Okay.
Yeah. Yahtzee!
Ouch.
See, I had that long setup of yours to think of that.
Stomach hurts. Oh.
I was like, just the whole time I was going, don't say Yahtzee, don't say Yahtzee. Oh, good, apples to apples. Okay. Talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Set you up perfectly.
That was fucking worth the price of admission to this apartment.
Which was free.
No.
All right. Here is. I guess I got to go. How the fuck do I follow that?
That was great, dude.
That was amazing. Here is Liam Neeson. In case you guys were unsure. Here's Liam Neeson being asked what he would like to drink at a sushi bar.
I already know the answer.
I gotta stop laughing.
Is it Yahtzee?
Diet Coke.
Oh shit!
All right.
Oh,
Classic
good.
misdirect.
This is gonna be
great.
You are more than welcome to steal this game for Doug Loves Movies. Please do.
I love it.
That's fun.
Everybody has a celebrity on their head, and you have to do a one-word impression.
Oh, on the head. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And you could get
There's
so
no winning
obscure.
and losing. There's
No.
just fun.
No,
Because
it's
we also
just fun.
picked.
It's just fun.
There's levels to it. I think you could even have like categories in the rounds because that was all very recognizable people. But what if one of them is like Elizabeth Berkley?
You just have to say I'm so excited.
You know,
That's it.
you know what I'm saying? And then they get real specific because then you're preying on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good Nomi Malone line.
Oh, from Showgirls.
Yeah.
I love that I knew the character
That's
name.
a great
No,
movie.
I've never seen the movie more than 32 times.
That's fine. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Fantastic.
I mean, feels like you might have to make everybody stick to their own gender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll be hard for women to do an impression.
Because you want it to
of
kind of sound like it. Oh, here's a good one. Owen Wilson would probably be a great one for a lot of things.
Oh, for anything. Okay.
Okay, so this is Owen Wilson.
All right.
Seeing something, can't tell quite what it is, something interesting in the distance.
Did he blow a trumpet?
This is.
I want to see what he saw.
Yeah. I mean,
was it Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
That's actually great. Edit that into Sam Neill, like looking up on the thing when he pulls up on the Jeep and just have him
taking
go
off the glasses.
Wow.
He takes off the glasses so dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he actually goes like this.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's so good. Holy shit, that's so good.
He's probably the only person in history ever to do hand on the opposite side.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, Spielberg wanted that real, like, you know, taking off the glass. This is a dinosaur.
Yeah. You can't.
This
just
guy
go,
loves dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I love how there always has to be that extra, you know,
yeah.
like Castaway. That guy loved to be on time.
Right. I mean, that's not like him to be 4 days late.
Yeah.
He always loved to be on time. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that.
Oh, you know, they just hammer that over your head for a while before getting to the actual story.
Yeah.
Now, I have a legit question for you.
You good for about 5 or 10 more?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
When you're like the
Joints?
Yes.
Rounds.
When you like, because I know people that are auto mechanics and they can't watch any movie where a guy is working on cars because they do stuff wrong. Yeah. So like when you watch pot movies, are you ever just like, it's bullshit?
Well, unfortunately, they'll even admit that it's bullshit. Like Harold and Kumar, those guys don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
You don't?
Yeah, and they let people know that. I don't know why people just be like, okay, well, I'm not going to watch that movie then.
Yeah.
If that movie...
Yeah, like have you play a stoner?
Hey, there's a great idea. No, those guys are fine. I'm not mad at them for that. But there just is so much. You know, they're always not really smoking weed,
Right?
but they do a good job, reasonable enough job of making it look like they're smoking weed whenever they are. And certainly when Snoop's smoking weed in the scene, I imagine that's the real deal.
Have you smoked with him?
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah. That's
what was
like,
that like?
That's like the Mount. That's like if it's you, Snoop, and Cheech and Chong. I think that's the Mount Rushmore of stoners.
I think so.
Yeah, I've smoked with all those guys, and don't forget Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
Redheaded Stranger. How could I? How
Don't
could I
forget.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel arranged a smoke date for me and Willie Nelson, where you know, he knew that Willie Nelson was going to be on his show, and then he just had somebody bring me to his trailer, and he just said, "Hey, Willie, this guy's cool. You should meet him and smoke with him." And
That might be the coolest thing I've...
We both had a vape pen, so we just shared vape pens. We just kept passing the two pens back and forth.
So you've shared saliva with Willie Nelson.
Well, you know, he's pretty dry. He's a dry old man.
Is there any celebrity that you haven't smoked with that you would like to smoke with?
You know, it's kind of like any celebrity when you find yourself smoking with them. There's just like it's super exciting.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh yeah.
So anybody that I like, I would also like to smoke with. But sometimes it's just not. You know, the situation's not right for it. Like when I met John C. Reilly, he was like very clear to me that, you know, he knew me from Super High Me, and that you know, he obviously enjoys weed himself, but you know, wasn't like we were at like a party where I couldn't just be like, oh, let's fucking smoke, dude.
I feel like though you've reached like that Snoop Dogg status where like Snoop could be at the Oscars and start smoking a joint and everyone be like, yeah, that's Snoop.
Right.
Like I feel like you could do that too. I think you could bust
Like if
out
a porn
joint
star
whenever you
starts
wanted.
playing with themselves at the porn awards,
Yeah.
no one's going to say, hey, what are you doing?
You know what?
They
you
can pan to
guys,
you.
Unfortunately, you're
Do
wrong.
it.
You're wrong in both cases because you know the person that's going to come over to me and say you can't smoke in here doesn't even know who I am. You know, they're just just somebody that works at a theater and you know, it doesn't follow comedy. You know, and then
hates happiness. Apparently.
and the porn awards, they go out of their way to like tape up all the nipples and like.
Do they really?
Yeah, and
That's disappointing.
And there's no like no Vegas. They do it in Vegas,
Yeah.
and Vegas is more strict than almost anywhere in terms of like sexual acts.
How do you know this? Did you host them?
I never did. I
get asked?
haven't been asked, but
Yeah.
would say no if I've been asked. But if asked, but I've been a presenter a couple of times.
For what award?
Which is a blast. Just, you know, you go out there and I go out there with like 2 girls and we give out like 2 or 3 awards. And then
is there like a little monologue like
they
pre-award?
cut some of it out so it doesn't all get in the broadcast. Like I gave out a best transsexual performer award, and then they just buried that one for the the TV show.
But did you have
transphobic apparently?
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, or they worry that their audience is
right.
the people that watch the AVNs want pretty much want just the girls.
Yeah.
They don't linger on the awards for the men, but they do give some out.
Do they have copy before the awards? Like, like if the Oscars are doing best cinematography, they go, every movie, cut, Adam, it's every movie. Okay. every movie needs a camera. So like for your award that you were doing, was it like, love is a thing of the past?
They write,
every
my friend Dan. You guys know Dan Van Kirk?
Yes.
Yeah, he writes for the last few years. He's been the writer of the awards
for the porn awards.
Yeah, so he has to think of the jokes for them to say. But they also have to
run
them by. There's, like with anything, there's people in charge that these things have to be run by, and so they hire somebody. They hire somebody funny, but then they don't trust. Then they second guess everything.
Yeah,
that's every time I've written for an award show. They're like, "Can this be funnier?" And I'm like, "Well, can award shows be funnier?"
Yeah,
because the answer is no. Like, you can't. A whole night of home runs is not going to happen at an award show. There's got to be some jokes that just fucking die.
Yeah, like
and you might as well just pick the ones you think are funny.
Yeah,
and they just announced it
trust
yesterday.
the performers and the writers.
Yes, to deliver.
Yeah,
all right,
they just announced it yesterday. Kevin Hart is going
to host the
Oscars.
AVNs.
Wait, real quick. Everyone do Arnold Schwarzenegger finding out he's about to host the AVNs.
Okay.
Don't even think. Just do it. Brad.
Yes.
Doug.
Yahtzee.
Son of a bitch. Goddamn closer.
Yeah, Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars.
Oh, yeah,
That'll be exciting.
But hosting the Oscars is kind of a thankless job, like
exactly
for the exact reasons you just said, where the Oscars is 3.5 hours.
I read that Kevin Hart got the job 10 minutes after reading an article about how nobody wants to do it,
and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in every movie and everything. Might as well host the Oscars."
Yeah, and he brings a lot of energy to it. I just think that I hope that maybe he gets some writers that give him like solid jokes that he says the way they need to be said, because he
performs.
When I've seen him host award shows in the past, he makes it conversational, which is fine when you're doing the MTV Awards and there's a bunch of screaming kids in front of you that aren't paying attention anyway.
Right.
But when you're doing a monologue at the beginning of an award show, you got to land lines that get laughs. Yes. You can't just do
riffing and stream of
bits
consciousness
and running around on stage.
You're so right. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be
no
interesting
pyrotechnics.
To see. Maybe he won't yield to the format and just sort of do his comedy the way he does it. And maybe people will love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you excited because we're getting into the holiday season? So are you?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. For
that was gonna be my question.
Movies?
Isn't that crazy?
Listen, we got high together.
You're going to ask me about Christmas movies or about movies that come out around Christmas?
I was going to ask for movies that come out around Christmas.
Yeah, because that's all the most serious shit. That's the
going for the Oscar wins.
Trying to get Oscars. You got to sit through all that stuff when you're supposed to be having a nice holiday season. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie about the mass shooting at a school in Sweden.
Fuck.
Yeah, where I hope I said the right place, but they had a terrible shooting over there that took place on July 22 of whatever year it was. And so the movie's called July 22. It's the same guy who did all the Bourne movies. And,
that's an actual movie?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That sounds heavy as shit.
But it's probably already getting a lot of acclaim.
He did that, United.
93.
United
93. I could never think of that number.
It's okay.
I'm always messing up and saying things like United 311. United 420.
Also a great band.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. So
there's big super fun ones too, right? Like there's the There's that Holmes movie with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Holmes and Watson's coming out, and that's I can't imagine that not being amazing because those guys are so funny together.
It's gotta be.
And it's just silly that they would play those parts.
Yes.
They're gonna do British accents.
Oh my God!
I think they're gonna try, and I think that's gonna be part of the charm. Or maybe they're not gonna be good at it.
Or maybe they'll just be their stepbrother-esque characters.
John C. Reilly's amazing.
He's unbelievable.
He will show up in a movie for like the most like pointless role just to play something different, just to like. You
see The Year of the Dog with Molly Shannon?
Yeah.
And him and Peter Sarsgaard? Yeah. I love that movie. He's so good in that.
Wow, that's a weird pull.
Yeah. I know. I got an obscure collection back here.
But I was just telling, did you guys see The Lobster?
Oh, that was with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. that was a...
There's a scene where John C. Reilly, something awful happens to him. And I'm just like, as an actor, that's a real interesting choice to be like, oh, I'll be that guy in that movie that awful thing happens to.
Jesus. You think he sought that out? He was like, it's time to mix it up.
Or he wanted to work with that director, with Colin Farrell or whatever, because it's that Yorgos Lanthimos.
Oh, boy.
His name, I can never get it right. I'm going to have to because now he's going to be even more of a player because Lobster... got a lot of awards heat and it got nominated for best screenplay.
That's
and
amazing.
Then his next movie, Killing of a Sacred Deer, was another creepy ass movie that got some attention. Nicole Kidman was in it with Colin Farrell, and but then now this new one, The Favorite, with Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz is
looks like a lot of fun.
I just saw it the other day, and it is fun, but it's also
heavy,
fucked up.
Fuck.
Oh, like the guy is not good to animals. Do you have to watch something bad happen to an animal in every one of his movies?
Oh, that's not fun.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's not good on the
Unless
date.
it's Animal Crackers.
And I used to do on Douglas Movies, I used to do a segment not for emetophobes, which is, people who don't want to see anyone else see or hear someone vomiting. And, which I sort of am. I always think it's unnecessary when almost every time it's in a movie or TV show.
I like SNL comedic, like, over-the-top comedic vomiting.
Oh, yeah, like if they set up like a fire hose worth of vomit coming out of the person.
Then it's fine.
That could be kind of amusing, but like even like in Stand By Me, they sort of do projectile vomiting of pie.
Yeah.
And it's just, I could just move to the next scene.
Or like, if it's like Team America vomit, great. Also,
that's out of a puppet. That's fun. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just like, and it happens a lot in movies because it's dramatic. It's that shows the person's under stress or on drugs or drunk or you know what I mean. There's so many reasons for them to throw up.
Yeah.
And so it happens all the time. And I just gave up on naming the movies that have it because I would warn them. This movie's not for you. But I gave up on doing it because every movie I just sit there going, oh, well, there it is. There's the vomit.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
There was no vomit in Super Jaime, right?
I think Pixar movies are the only ones that don't have any vomiting. No, I never threw up in Super Jaime, I don't think. Like, I was a little sick during part of it. But
you were. I love that movie so much. Documentary, you would call it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all real.
What was the, what did you feel, what did you enjoy the most about smoking and then not smoking? Like just the two, like what was the biggest contrast? Like...
Well, the only thing I enjoyed about not smoking was that we were making a movie about it. Like I knew I was going to be able to smoke again, and I knew that I could show the people that not smoking wasn't going to
affect you.
I mean, I guess if I had been quitting for good, then maybe it would have been played out a little differently. But knowing that I'm going to get to smoke, and not only am I going to get to smoke, I'm going to get to smoke constantly for 30 days.
Yeah.
Like that was the part I was more worried about. Was just like, am I just going to be a mess if I'm just smoking all the time?
Whoa, yeah.
But
you were okay.
I got through it okay. And lots of edibles and stuff too. Like it was just nonstop. And if I was awake, I was high. Basically, was the premise.
I forget. Were your dreams better sober?
They don't exist. I mean, when you're high, you don't have dreams, and when you're sober, you do. And I hate them. I never wake up with a dream going, "That was fun," or "That was cool," or "That told me a lot lot about myself."
Do you remember the first time you smoked?
No.
So it wasn't.
I mean,
like
I know. I got the idea of it. I mean, I
Do you remember the last time you choked?
I got it. Yes. Wait, on stage or here in this room? No, but it was with comedians. It was definitely like I got drawn into it with San Francisco comedians specifically. Like I give Brian Posehn and Greg Proops. I did a whole weekend of shows with them up there at the old Punchline in Walnut Creek, and well, I think we smoked the whole time that weekend, so that was kind of probably what put me in the game.
Well, that and you kind of the first time you smoked, if that's the first time you really got high, like that's pretty solid first time around comics, and especially comics that funny.
Yeah, it's just going to be fun. I mean, they make it look good, and they still do. You know, like Brian quit for a while when he had a kid. You know, and I get that. I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Now,
being high dad, I mean, I think you might go into paranoia with like the kid, you know.
Yeah, that.
But it seems like it'd be a lot of fun.
You talk about projectile vomiting. That happens a lot with the baby.
Oh my God, yeah, I could.
I've been high around my nieces before.
So maybe I would need to be high to change a diaper.
I made up a bedtime story to my nieces once when they were like 6 when I was a little high. And boy, was it just like the biggest adventure any of us had ever been on. It was like they were so into it. And I wish I could remember. I should have recorded it on my phone.
Good story, Adam.
I think it was a great story. It was heartfelt. Fuck you, dude. All right.
I just forgot what we were talking about.
The movie Junior.
Oh yeah. I liked the first. But the 30 Days of Not Smoking. The thing that got me through that is that I knew I was making a movie and knew I was trying to make a point.
Right.
And then the whole time it was 30 Days of Smoking was just it was too much smoking for sure, but it was also again all heightened by the fact that I knew that we were capturing all of it. You know, like the second time we did a bunch of tests twice, and the second time we go to a psychic guy to see if I'm psychic or not, or see if I'm more psychic when I'm high.
Which was the best.
Like, because the first time I did the test, I just, did poorly. It's just a guy holding up cards with symbols on the back.
Right.
And you know which symbols to choose from. Like, whenever you see it in like a movie like Ghostbusters or something, the person that's guessing doesn't even get to know what the options are.
Yeah.
I knew what the options were.
Right.
So
we should set up. This is Super High Me. If you haven't seen it, it's available still, right? Netflix, Amazon.
Netflix. It's the first Netflix movie ever.
For real?
Yeah, they made it.
That's
Netflix produced Super High
I know
Me,
it's their first ever.
and then they didn't make movies for many years. And now they're fully in the movie game.
Do you ever go back to them like, hey guys, I kind of launched your empire?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's why they bought my special sight unseen.
That's big time.
Yeah, they're like, Doug Benson has a special. They're like, okay.
Well, it's the best combo of fun and fascinating that I feel like I've seen in a long time. And for people who haven't seen it, you need to. I forget, is it 30 days without smoking first?
Yeah, no smoking, and then 30 days of constant smoking, and then at the end a little coda where I drink a little bit because I don't drink alcohol during the whole 60 days.
Right.
And that was the hardest part. The hardest part was not drinking.
Wow. And then you did tests, right? It was like there was a lot of intelligence tests and then memory tests.
Oh, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
Is that so? We did a psychic test. And, we did it with these people that have yet to find someone who they legitimately think is psychic. They're just what they do is disprove every psychic. They just go and disprove it. So the first time I did it, not high.
Right.
Got 1 or 2 right just by guessing correctly or whatever of the 5 or whatever symbols they showed me. They go, yeah, you're not psychic. So then we go back to the same place when I was high, and I'm sitting in the car, and they film you everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the car, and I just decided to, like I knew we were making a movie the whole time. Like I would think in terms of, what could happen in the movie that would be cool. So I just said, you know what? I am feeling more psychic today. The first thing's going to be a star. And then we get there. We don't rig anything at all. The first one's a star. And then we get to just put that in the documentary because that really happened.
Oh man!
But I was just goofing around, like, if I get it right, it'll be amazing. If I get it wrong, of course I'm gonna get it wrong.
Yeah, and then
of course I'm gonna get it wrong.
And we can not show that in the movie. You don't have to show me saying that in the movie.
Yeah,
that's insane, right?
Perfect. So why not?
Did you feel like playing the lottery that day?
Well, the crew was all just like, "What?" Like they all thought, "Wow, you really are, psychic."
They started asking you questions. Where will my next job be?
How long am I going to live? Well, it's interesting because you're not going to have a next job.
because
you're about
10, 9.
You're about to choke on a McGriggle. Fuck, I can't say it again. I can't say it again.
Rob Riggle loves McWriggles.
Is that your vocal warm-up? Rob Riggle loves McWriggles. I thought about if John Goodman's vocal warm-up was good man, good man, good. All right, so Doug, when you do live shows or stand-up, what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy the cohesive, collaborative, or getting Doug with high, like or being solo on stage? Like,
I'd rather fuck around on stage with other people. I don't want to be like in a team act, but like I'm so jealous of that David Tell and Jeff Ross have that show where they it's like 3 episodes, I guess, right?
Bumping mics.
And they get to fucking just be on stage with a pumped crowd, cameras rolling, and just fuck around. And then, of course, they're going to edit out anything that doesn't work. But they're both so hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm really jealous of that format because that's essentially what the Benson interruption was, but just with a bunch of people and me.
Right.
And this show is just the 2 of them together. But then they also bring people on stage and fuck with them.
Right.
And they are often funny people. Like
which is
Bob
cool.
Saget does it, right?
Yeah.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah, they all.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing just that looks like so much fun.
What about
At
taping?
the very least, they better fucking put me on there if they get more episodes.
That'd be amazing.
Right?
Doing a run of...
They fucking better. Like I would talk that way to Jeff or Dave.
All right.
You motherfuckers.
Dave Attell would be a fun one. So now we got to go around and do Dave Attell doing something.
Dave Attell.
Is this how we're going to end?
I
think we should end with one more game. Is
Okay.
Dave Attell the voice? I think there's...
Yeah.
I can do an Attell. Let's do one more after that.
You can do an Attell.
Not really.
I sometimes, every once in a while, I'll find myself falling into like kind of his rhythm, and then I'll try to lean into it, but I haven't really gotten an actual impression down.
Here's Dave Attell answering the door for trick-or-treaters.
I think I know what's coming.
Boo!
I'm going to have the best one. Do you want to go next?
No, you go next.
You want to go last after the best one.
Fuck. No.
You have one? I love how you had to say it twice.
I got bullied in my own apartment. All right. Here's Dave Attell.
You're trying to make me forget mine.
Here's Dave Attell being a little too high on the plane, trying to make small talk with the pilot when he sees the cockpit doors ajar. Got any peanuts?
That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed. This is Dave Attell being reunited with an Amish friend. Jedediah!
You're right. Yours was the best one.
You won.
He's always
amazing.
like really. He says funny names funny.
He does.
Jedediah.
Yeah, like that.
It's not that my dad wanted to hit me when I was a kid. It was just the only way he could get hard.
He's the best.
He's the best.
He's so funny.
Has he been on any of your shows?
He did. He doesn't smoke weed, but he did Doug Loves Movies in.
Oh, I bet he's so good.
In D.C.
He's so good, right?
He sat on one end
God.
so that he could get up occasionally and go smoke a cigarette.
Oh, that's real.
But whenever it got to be his turn, he was always there and hilarious.
Oh God.
Not great at movie trivia, but he was just so funny. It was so great to have him, and he had a good time. Because I always feel like he would maybe do something like that to be nice, and then not be into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's super nice. Like his persona
so
on,
sweet,
on stage, he's he can be kind of
Prickly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like seem like a curmudgeon, but
but he's not. He's just.
But he is in that he's kind of a
guy.
quiet, private guy, but
Yeah.
he's also just hilarious. And he then that weekend he had headliner shows that weekend, so he'd just be like, come out on stage during my set and and I just go out there with a microphone. We just talk to each other and and audience fuck with the audience. pretty much what he does with Jeff. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah.
Oh, that's why they got to get you in
so
there.
So much fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Already been road tested. I mean, they both can just stand there and just do weed jokes all night long.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God, yeah. That is the dream.
I like jokes about, you know, how people, like, not necessarily mean jokes, but just accurate ones about what people are wearing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So
like
good.
Those kind of burns
Yes.
over a person's outfit are so much fun.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember which
Like
ones.
a you look like a this.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, you look like a guy who.
Toll booth driver on a bender. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, at one point, in front of an audience, he says to me, he goes, "You're over 40, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Why don't you dress like it?" Maybe not. That wasn't even the punchline. It was something more clever than that, but it was
I
just...
think you said to Dave, like, you look like you look like the guy who... Oh, that's not Jeff
Is that
Ross.
Ray
Yeah,
Romano
that was Jeff Ross.
and David
I was
Bell?
trying to do... Jeff Richards does a really good Jeff Ross.
Okay. So
He did,
this is Ray Romano
doing Jeff Ross.
finding out that the TV show...
Is that we're ending?
What was that HBO show he was on?
Vinyl. Vinyl, yeah.
They finding out that Vinyl got canceled.
Okay.
This is Ray Romano finding out Vinyl got canceled. Oh.
This is Ray Romano finding out the Mumford & Sons live Christmas show has been moved to a date in which he cannot attend.
That sounds unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had tickets.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but first of all, this is a two-parter. Here's Ray Romano finding out that his tickets came early. Yeah. And here's him finding out that he can't go now. Oh. Brad?
Here is Ray Romano being asked what kind of coffee he would like.
Oh, see, this is going to be good. You just took the whole disappointment noise.
Ray Romano being
I
asked
got to do one more.
what kind of coffee he likes. Mocha.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Marie.
Oh, yeah, that's Marie. Is that the name of his wife in the show?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it could be, what's the name of his, who was his favorite calendar? Marie.
Marie.
Yeah.
Oh. I just got that joke.
The diner.
Here's Ray Romano hearing that joke. Oh.
The best
Here's
thing
Brad Garrett walking in on Ray Romano taking a shit.
Come
on, man, I'm pooping.
Wait.
Wait,
That
was
sounded like you were
was that
going to do Brad Garrett.
Yeah. You said
This
here-
is
you said
Brad
here's
Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
Yeah. And okay, here's Ray
When
Romano.
he walks in on...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if you do Brad Garrett, you got to go, here's Brad Garrett catching
All right.
Ray Romano
Jesus, Ray.
taking a shit.
Lock the door.
Nobody has a voice deep enough to do Brad Garrett.
I know.
You pooping.
If that's not your catchphrase in 20 years, then I quit comedy.
Come on to Brad Williams taping of his new comedy special. Brad Williams, you pooping.
And every 20 seconds in the trailer is just Brad goes, "You're telling me you're not." And
You
then it
telling
goes,
me you're not pooping?
with all the jokes you've come to learn and love.
So, you pooping on a subway?
Subway.
Sponsor.
You pooping on a subway. It's not even a bit.
What's their Subway's, w's their
$5
tagline?
footlong.
What's their,
Oh.
don't they have a...
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
Eat fresh, there you go.
Good night, everybody.
It's about last night.